So today is going to be an immersive one, and then the slides are set. And I want it to be quite interactive. We have less than 28 minutes. It should be 30 minutes presentation. And then, yeah, I think we have more people joining now. So we have to just start, I guess. Welcome. Please, you can also, allow your video to show, and then you can say one or two things. You can also say a greeting. Thank you for joining the graph today. Hello, can you say hi or say greeting, please? While I share my screen. I hope you can hear me, please. Can you hear me, please? I think. Okay. I can't hear anybody speaking via Zoom. You all can hear me. It's because of connection I have here. All right. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. And if you can hear me in the chat box, getting engaged. We'll be starting right away because of no time. We're hoping others will get the link, and if they don't, it's still all okay. Yes, this is the slide, and I think we just have to do this. So once again, my name is David. It's already 5 minutes of lag behind. My name is David, and a graph advocate and a tutor, a technical tutor within the graph. As an advocate, we'll be talking about how to be an advocate member, but of course, the graph, it's a very, it's a strong leading Web3 protocol that is bringing not only inclusion with data solutions, but of course, they are taking rounds with artificial intelligence. And as you can hear me, please let the chat, let me know in the chat box. I just want to have that with me because of the less time I'm having here. Yeah, so let me let's continue and make the slide bigger so we can have a better view. Yeah, so basically we'll be given a summary on the graph, and then we dive right into how to delegate. Those are the things we're going to be doing quickly without any further ado. And I would also, thank you for the chat. Yeah, whole group, thank you. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Sam. I hope others can join on time, and I hope there are no people waiting for me to get them admitted. I'll be having that back and forth. But what we're discussing today is how to delegate on the graph. And we'll be having this as the agenda of the discussion. About 5 big agendas. The graph in summary, what's the graph network or the graph protocol, was about delegation on the graph network. And then there'll be a summarized step-by-step guide and a simple means on how to, go with your GRT token on delegation. Excuse me. And then we address the risk and cost of delegating. The floor will be open for question and answer. It's going to be less than 25 minutes, literally. So I want you to just, be quite open to questions and open to give your response and your feedback. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so number one, we're starting with the graph in summary. What's the graph? I'm sorry, I want to check if there are others waiting for me to admit them. And if there are, so I will not just, allow that as an oversight before we continue. Because if we really continue, I may not. Right, I think there is none. Okay. Right. So the graph protocol, it's a like I explained, is a Web3 ecosystem that's out as a decentralized protocol for indexing, number one, and querying blockchain data. Because the fact is, the graph makes it very possible and easy to arrange, organize, and then itemize data. There are a lot of data in the blockchain. A lot of them are like you have. Sorry, I hope you can hear me. And like you have on the screen, you have this. The graph makes it possible to query data that is difficult to query directly. In other words, it is a Web3 protocol that is built to solve the arrangement of blockchain data in an encyclopedic method. Just think of the graph as that ecosystem that can help to organize information and make data sensible from different blockchains, like the law of data, staking data, buying and selling data, on different exchanges, NFTs data, NFT data, whichever data minting, even from minting on different blockchains, Solana, Algorand, think of any chain. In fact, specifically Ethereum, which is a very, very primer, blockchain that the indexing began from on the Graph protocol. The Graph makes it very easier to arrange them, because just imagine a world without, let's say, Google, and you want to release source for information from worlds that you might not have direct interaction with. Okay, and that's what the Graph really does, like a back end of you having the information that the data that the blockchain has hosted or is having, and then you have them organized, and that's what the Graph basically does. It's like a special tool that developers can use to quickly find, number one, and access specific data they need from those blockchains. This makes it easier for them to build cool, decentralized applications and services on the internet. Just like when you get the right information, you can make the right assertion, the right conclusion, and you can draw, creativity from the information you've gathered. And that's what the Graph is about in summary. Now we're going to the next thing, which is importantly what delegation is about. I'll try and make the slide available to us in the chat, so we can also always go for more read up. And I'll be sending the link right away to the chat box so that I will not have some delay. All right, so copying the link. So sorry, I just want to have that dropped so that we can be so sure that's okay. We are. Thank you for joining. So we're on the same page and there are no backdrops. I think I will just. Okay, let me just do this and get the link sent here. Yes, copy some chats. Okay, I just open. Let's continue. If I've copied the link, I'll send it to the chat box. So what is delegation is the next part of the slide. Delegation is a simple act of committing your GRT tokens. Now, every one of us that are used to engage in the blockchain knows about staking, and the act of staking is you connecting your wallet to a particular interface, and then when you've had that connection secured, all right, after following the prompt from your MetaMask or your Web3 or EVM compatible wallet, you can then give the permission for the wallet to interact with your funds and do what you want to do with it on the website. It's that simple. So delegation is just more like staking. So delegators are network participants who simply stake GRT. GRT stands for Graph token, the Graph token. It's available on Binance and major crypto exchanges. And so delegators, you can be a delegator. I mean, it's a no-brainer task, very, very simple. Unlike you want to be a coder or developer, it's that simple. So you can stake your GRT to one or more indexers. And by doing that, you are securing the network without running a graph node. Those who run graph nodes are those who are more like the techie guys, and you can think of indexers, think of developers, think of curators, because there are 4 important niches within the graph, and those other guys do the techie part. But these delegators, who any of us can be, and we can really start from, no matter the funds, we can start with the little we have by delegating. We'll see the cost for delegation, right? And then when you do, you stand a chance of earning just for staking. It's just like you staking. Proof of stake consensus is you imbibing staking into the consensus mechanism of a particular blockchain, and by doing that, you're securing the blockchain. By Bitcoin, for example, uses proof of work, and then Ethereum does switch from proof of work to proof of stake, and the graph allows you to delegate, like lock up your token, your GRT, with those who are indexers, and by doing that, you're securing the graph network, and that's just. And by doing that, you also stand a chance. You're also earning, not stand a chance. You're earning. Now, it is a move of trust. That's what delegation is about. It's a move of trust that vests and upvotes a certain indexer's data, affirming its accuracy, because indexers, are the one who are, when you index, like you arrange, they're the one that really, arrange those data, sectionalize them. Let's put it in a very, very more relatable way. All right. And that's what they do. right? And it's simple. So when you stake your GRT, or you lock them, or you delegate them, as we call them, it's you telling anyone that want to come either delegate or take up a task that, see, I trust this indexer, that's why I'm locking up my funds there. And so the informations of that indexer will be getting more accessibility from developers who are in need of them. It's as simple. So by taking your GRT, you're committing your trust, and by doing that, you're going to be earning, all right, from the the protocol, because there's a way it works. You will be seeing how the earning mechanism comes about. As a delegator, you get a cut of the indexer's query fees and rewards. Since it's a no-brainer task, you already know that the more the stake, the more the cut. Is that simple? So the more you stake, the more you stand a chance to earn from that cut, and that's just what delegation is about. So, like, for example, if you stake 200 GRT tokens, like from, let's say I go over to my wallet and I just pick some of my GRT, I have a couple of GRT, and say I want to stake them, all right, and I do stake them, and I did that, connecting my wallet. We'll be seeing how to get about that, right? These are the steps. And when I stake my GRT with an indexer, which I must have done my research about, which is part of this whole presentation, then I have the opportunity to also earn GRT tokens, because what you earn is GRT token, not a derivative coin. It's that simple, all right? But it also comes with some risk, as much as the part of the benefits is always inviting and interesting. I hope we are getting that. I don't know. Let me see the chat box. Are we on the same page? Are we? I think. Are we on the same page, please? Are we really getting that? Let me see that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that I've dropped the link to the document. So yeah, that's how that's what delegation is about. Please, I want to turn off the fan, so you permit me to maybe stand up or pause the video. I'm coming. Let me quickly turn the fan up. I'm sorry, just a minute. All right, I think we're back. So sorry. Yeah, I just have to turn that off so that we can have a better sound. I think let me even turn it off. So tell me. Sorry, we're back, and then we're back. So thank you for waiting. So basically, I was saying something about what delegation is and what it will always be. It's about you just taking it, no-brainer task. It's that simple. And yeah, we've been about 70 minutes into this presentation. I think everyone already having a grasp on what delegation is about and how simple it really is. And yeah, that's what we want to achieve today. And like, I want to just make a little bit more of explanation, okay, so that we can have more understanding of what delegation is, because that's the whole essence of this this meeting. I think someone dropped something in the chat box. I want to pick up. All right, okay, yeah. So, and I want to say something more about delegation, which is the fact that just think or imagine that you have like a farm yard, right? Just think of a farm yard, and think of having someone that comes to clean the whole farm yard, and like someone working on the garden and doing the rigorous task of making sure that everything is well cleaned up. And whoever it is that is doing that is really and that you're allowed to enter your compound is the one you've trusted to have access to it, and just the simple task of the person coming to do the task for you, and then you vesting your trust in that person, getting into your compound, doing the task, and you not doing the task really, but you getting a payment for the person, and then that you have the reward of your garden being clean, and then the person gets the pay, and there is a win-win for everyone at every end. Is that I don't know if you really got what I'm trying to say. Is that simple? I mean, what's the scope of what's it called, the scope of delegation is about. So yeah, I also want to know if you are getting it. If you are, please let the chat get us informed on that specifically. So yeah, I trying to check also. Okay, all right, so yeah, we can continue. Basically, the what we call the step-by-step way to delegate is simple. Step one, which I call the preliminary phase. I call it preliminary phase. Step two is what I call the checking phase or the researching phase, and then the step three is what I call the action phase. All right, which is in my own opinion, I think some people are trying to join, so I managed to send the invites to other places. So yeah, in my own opinion, the step three is the action phase, which is the real deal. All right, which is the real deal, and the real way of doing this delegation with the GRT token, what is itemized. We'll be going through this in 3, 4, 5 minutes before we call it a wrap for today, and then we engage with a risk, and then we check question and answers. So in 5 minutes time, we should actually wrap things up. I don't know if anyone's already getting set questions for us, and yeah, I see things some I wanted to see maybe join, and that's what I'm trying to see, ensure that we have not leaving anyone behind in a way. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the first thing to do actually in the preliminary phase is you ensuring that you know how to set up your wallet. Like I said earlier on, a lot of wallets you can use to connect with this protocol. Now, number one, I should actually make it obvious to everyone that if you head over to Graph, the website here, as you can see, let me show it to everyone. This. Sorry, and I type, a graph. I'll be opening the website so everyone can see some all the same way as it's standing here. Let's just go through this quickly so we don't put our time back. All right, so the first thing you have to do in the preliminary phase is that you want to ensure that your wallet is set up, right? Open your MetaMask, download it, set it up, get your 12 seeded phrase, and keep them in a more secure place, somewhere you can make handwritten and then kept in one diary or somewhere that you're sure of. Okay, and after you are so sure of the setting of your wallet, then you acquire GRT. You can get them on crypto exchange, like I mentioned earlier on Binance, on Wobi Global. You can get them on such exchanges. You can get over to CoinGetCap and then get this token, then have enough, and then connect your wallet to the Graph Network platform. Just get over to Google, search the Graph protocol, the Graph Network. You'll find the website. We'll be going to that very soon. And when you have gotten that connection secured, then the checking phase begins. You go through the available delegation service providers that you have on the Graph. A lot of them. But you must do your own research. Go through them, check their accuracy, check their stability, check how trustable they are. And when you've done the research, then you can now make a choice of your delegation, which will always be based on the reputation of the delegator, of the service provider, which for us is sort of like an indexer, right? Yeah, so you choose delegation service, you go through the delegation service, you check them, check the works they've done in the past, the reputation, the performance, and of course check if you can afford to pay the query fees, because it is the query fees that will be where you get your own cut from. The query fees is the one they query those who are in need of the information from them, the data that have been checked. There's payment they also pay. There's a way the entire GRT tokens that have been committed into the hands of the delegator service provider, are fractionated into payment for those who delegate into their hands. And it is as simple as, and I wish I can just get over here and I don't know, I want to really this okay, let me come over to and then search for graph. Yes, thegraph.com. That's a website which can be easily gotten. So sorry. while that loads, I think we might still continue in the presentation. We have a very, very short time. We have less than 2 minutes to end this. So thank you for stopping by and being a part of this. All right. So while that comes on, we'll come back there, but I think it is coming on. I don't know how fast it's taking. So yeah, this is websites, and then it's okay. Just bear with us just for a minute. I think we just have to come here, finish things up because of our time. Oh, great. So we've understood that your wallet must be set. You acquire your GRT from the preliminary phase, and then you head over to the checking phase. You do your research on the delegator's service provider. Then you make your choice. When you have made your choice, then you connect your wallet. All right. When you connect your wallet, which is the important, which is the action phase, you have your wallet connected. Then after you've selected the delegation service, this might need to impute the delegation service address ID. Depends. I would have want to. In fact, let me even do that right away. Let me wait for this to come on, because the action phase is basically you imputing the amount of GRT tokens you want to use to stake. All right. So you can use 2,000 GRT tokens. You can use 100,000 GRT tokens, 1,000 GRT tokens. I think GRT is trading at about 0.01, $30 or $11 thereabouts. So about 700 GRT might just cost about $70, I think. Yeah, I think, and yeah, you can start delegating with that. And we need to also understand that once you've connected your wallet and then you've accepted a prompt from your wallet, then you're up to delegation, and then you can just click how much you want to delegate. So I want us to go through the product and then go through the subgraph studios, because this is what the interface you have to sort of relate with and then get the most of your delegations sorted out. Okay, so while that loads, I think we just have to come back here again because of our time. Please, I want 1 or 2 persons, so I think want to ask a question, because we're going to be wrapping this up soon, very, very soon. Yeah, so then when you've connected your wallet and then your GRT tokens are already staked or delegated, then you can have to wait for a maturation time, which is something you have to be aware of, which is the risk of delegation. All right, the risk of delegating your GRT token is quite similar to bond of contracts that you should be aware of. Yeah, these include the risk, include delegation task, because it's becoming more and more obvious what we have with the United States Security and Exchange Commission, and all the fight and the back and forth is, for me, in my own opinion, I may be wrong or right, to establish some regulatory policies that will favor the SEC more, of course, as it will allow crypto to thrive within the United States. So this will always include tax, or because these tax have always been before this whole back and forth with the US SEC. So I think one of the risks includes tax. You must be aware you're going to be paying some tax. All right, no matter how small or big it's going to be, you must be aware of that. And the second thing is, again, is the delegation on bonding period. There's a time. It's just like when you stake your token, you're going to be waiting for the maturation time before you can harvest or get the reward of your invested, GRT and the expected return of investment. Because quote unquote, it's like an investment. Because as much as you're delegating, which also infers that you're trusting that particular delegating service provider, and that you also want GRT to push on its vision. You're also aware that it's about trust, which is a third thing which is important. The trust, you must be so sure that you're choosing a trustworthy indexer, because those who are providing the delegation service as indexers aren't going to be doing the real task of indexing the blockchain data. So when you're delegating to them, you have this, you have to ensure that you trust in them, because that's a game of trust. And you're also aware that the indexer you're delegating your GRT token to is someone that will give you a fair payout of the GRT you've staked. And you must also be aware of the risk involved in calculating the delegator's expected return. All right, your return must also be well calculated, so you already have the query. Let me check if this is up so I can show it to you. We might need to end this by 11:35 West African time, or thereabouts, maybe about 7 minutes more. Yeah, because we had to wait about 5 minutes. So yeah, like you can see, you have to connect your wallet, and sorry, studio API keys. Sorry. Let me connect my wallet and see how to. When you click on connecting wallet to any of the delegating service provider, you would be so sure you have your MetaMask getting a prompt, and then you accept the prompt. Is that very, very simple? We just have to have a little bit of practical session. I hope we can do as much as we can in the limited time we have. All right, so basically, those are the risks you have to be aware of while you want to go on delegation. Just like the risk you are aware of when you want to stake your token, you connect. You're already aware that there's a risk in connecting your wallet because anything can literally happen, in the crypto space. But of course, the graph is safe. The delegator service provider is also something you must have done your check about, so you don't be at the risk of bugs. Okay, so that's very, very important. I just have some lags, and yeah, those are the risks, and the cost of delegation is what we're going to be reading out soon. Now, the cost of delegation on the Graph network can vary depending on the specific delegation service you choose. Delegation services may charge fees for their services, which may include a percentage of the rewards earned through delegation or a fixed fee. So it might be that there's a fixed fee of, let's say, 100 GRT for staking. 100 GRT might cost about $7. I'm just giving an assumed figure, and they might just be saying, well, we're going to be leaving it to the ratio of the GRT token you're staking, right? So the more the GRT token, that will be based on a particular constant that will define the amount of fee you're going to be paying. Is that simple? I'll be on the same page. Yeah, so this is the cost of delegation. It depends on the delegation service provider you've chosen, and the delegation service provider is the one that is going to be defined. Either it's going to be fixed or it's going to be vary based on maybe the funds or the amount of GRT you're going to be staking. These fees are typically used to cover the operational cost of the service and to incentivize the service providers, because that's something we all need to be very, very aware of. I think basically before I begin to do the invite on the graph, I'll just be wanting I want to ask any question you want to ask, and then I'll also go check if we've gotten the connection we're expecting. So please, if you have any question, please just speak, and I really want you to speak, or you have a comment in a minute or two. Yeah, the floor is open to anybody. Thank you for stopping by and being a part of what we're doing here. Yeah, I'm connecting my wallet. Anyone with any question, please, we have to wrap things up on our end. Yeah. I'm listening. Anyone? Anything? Any question about the graph? And before I introduce the graph advocate, well, you might have questions about the graph advocate, but I'll just still talk about that. Anyone's having any question? Do you have any question? Anything you want to basically say? The floor is yours, please, if you've got any question for us.
All right, sir, please, can you hear me?
I'm not seeing anyone. Hey. Okay, are you talking, please? You can go on. Listen.
Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. I wanted to ask about how there was a part we were talking about the amount of this is it SDK token or something, like the token you have to stake on the graph
GRT, like GRT token, yeah.
Okay, GRT.
Yeah.
Okay. Then how much is it? Like, and is there any minimum or maximum you can stake, or like you can stake as much as you want? Like, is there any minimum, the maximum, and the current price of the token?
Okay, all right. Thank you for asking that. So the question is as simple as, what is the minimum or the maximum amount of GRT token you can stake? The fact is, number one, I must establish this, that there is no maximum. Like, as much as you want to stake, you can definitely stake. And of course, like we said earlier on, the more you stake, let me put this. Yeah, like I said earlier on, the more you stake, the more your rewards. But definitely you don't want to stake the amounts that we use for query fee. Like, let's assume the query fee is $7. You don't want to stake $7 because, I mean, workload is going to be zero and the return is going to be literally zero. So basically, the fact is that you are aware that you will be staking. You must. The point about you is about you calculating the risk. So you must be able to calculate the amount that you would stake that will give a sizable return, at least the return you want to get. Like if I were going to be staking, I would want to stake the amount that would not only give me the return, I'll be paying for the fees. All right, I also want to stake the amount that would be paying me a return, like a reward after so many days I might have staked my GRC token. I believe we get that. So definitely $7 worth of GRC would not be. And for me, I think from at least about $200, in my own opinion, right, would be a good starting point to stake GRC tokens. And then the importance of staking this to earn is actually safe. But the truth is, as some like myself that I used to trade, I know that there is more risk in trading than just getting on protocols that are like this. Maybe you staking or you lock in your funds and waiting for a return. These ones might require you to be more patient, and then the reward might not be as great at trading if you get a good profit. But all the same, it is actually still fair. I don't know if that really answers your question. Staking a sizable amount within the variable minimum of the amount of the GRT tokens you have, and yeah, there is no maximum. I hope that answers a little bit. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir. Please, I want to ask one last thing.
All right, yeah.
You were talking about is it the fee now? You have to pay 17 something.
I was talking about.
Is that going to be in the GRT?
Come again. I didn't hear that. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I said you were talking about a fee. You were mentioning about $7 or so. That's like the fee for, I think, the staking and delegate.
Okay.
Like just a normal ETH in your wallet or something like that. Okay.
Well, I did not really hear you, or because of the network. What I want to just say is, I don't know if you're asking about maybe it's a fixed amount. Is that what you're asking? Hello? All right, I'm not getting what he's asking, but what I just want to say is, if he was asking that the GRT is, I think, going to be a fixed amount. I think what I would say, right, in my own opinion, is the fact that there are no fixed. It depends on the delegation service you've chosen, right? If the delegation service you have chosen is, requires you to pay a fixed amount of GRT token, then it's going to be a fixed amount. But if it's not going to be requiring you to pay a fixed amount, I don't think it's going to be fixed. Because it depends. Like we read in the other time, it varies, right? Depending on your Depending on your I hope we can see it. Depending on your on the chosen validator you've chosen. So it's all varies depending on that individual. So it could be fixed. It could also be based on the amount of token you're staking. So the delegation service might choose to say, all right, for those who are staking 10,000 worth of GRT and above, you're going to be dropping maybe 200 GRTs or maybe 100. I'm just saying that's how it can be. Okay, then are you the best? Okay, there's a question. Is the $7 from GRT tokens or normal Ethereum? No, it's from GRT token. The $7 that's going to be paid, if it were going to be $7, would be from the GRT. The query fees are in GRTs. To connect is just the normal connection. But to stake your GRT will be staked where you'll be charged for staking or delegating is going to be your Ethereum. So you have to have Ethereum in your wallet also. Yeah, that's the question, and I think I've answered that. All right, so I think I want to also talk about the Graph Advocate. It's a hub on Discord, and of course we have some little small hubs on different platforms where you can, like Telegram, where you can connect and then be a part of the Graph Advocate. As an advocate, I would love to show the slide. So let me show you this. Yes, as an advocate, you can either be an event evangelist like I am, a technical tutor like I am, you can be a content creator, a web command text. I don't know if you're seeing this. Let me make this bigger. We have 1 minute to wrap this up. So that's where you can be on the graph, and it's It's that simple. So you can be either of that. I mean, any of these offices, or any of these, will I say office, any of these duties. You can also be a content creator and get paid. Writing, video, and what have you, infographics, and then so for doing that, you get paid for being a graph advocate. And the link to joining the Discord is there, but of course you'll also get some interviews done and then you'll be vetted. It's that very simple. The best place for graph advocates to get support and answers is the Discord. And that's that about the graph advocates. I want to say thank you for coming, and please, I am super grateful having you around. We're sorry about the earlier glitch, and we hope to get better at it. It's always the first time for everything. So thank you. The graph is the Web3 place where even no-brainers and non-techies can really get a fair start. So I want to say thank you for coming, and please do have the best of your day today. So I'm grateful. Felix, Timmy, Toby, take care of yourself. Bye.